Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet.
Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Western Wednesday with a heaping dose of crime on top, with Mr. District Attorney, Nightbeat, Have Gun Will Travel, Gunsmoke, and Lum and Abner. That's all coming up on this Wednesday, 13th day of March, 72nd day of the year, 293 days remaining until we get to 2025. In 1781, William Herschel discovered the planet Uranus. Yes, I know we call it Uranus, but I don't want to have any of those, 10th grade humor. 1862, the federal government forbid all Union Army officers from returning fugitive slaves, thus effectively annulling the Fugitive Slave Law of 1850 and setting the stage for the Emancipation Proclamation. 1865, the Confederate States of America reluctantly agreed to the use of African American troops. 1930, the news of the discovery of Pluto telegraphed to the Harvard College Observatory. Of course, Pluto, not a planet any longer officially, but it'll always be a planet to me. 1933, banks in the U.S. began to reopen at the presidentially mandated bank holiday. 1957, the FBI arrested Jimmy Hoffa, charged him with bribery. In 1961, President Kennedy welcomed Latin American leaders to the White House to call for economic cooperation.
I have called on all people of the hemisphere to join in a new alliance for progress, Alianza para Progreso, a vast cooperative effort, unparalleled in magnitude and nobility of purpose, to satisfy the basic needs of the American people for homes, work, and land, health, and schools, techo, trabajo, y tierra, salud y escuela.
The effort of the Alliance for Progress had mixed results. Sad day in 1974, a young woman, Kitty Genovese, murdered in front of multiple witnesses who all failed to help her in an incident which shocked the world, prompted investigation into the bystander effect. In 1965, President Johnson discussed the riots in Selma, Alabama, and a conversation we had with that state's governor.
I met today with Governor Wallace of Alabama to discuss very thoroughly the situation that exists in that state. The governor expressed his concern that the demonstrations which have taken place are a threat to the peace and security of the people of Alabama. I expressed my own concern about the need for remedying those grievances which lead to the demonstrations by people who feel their rights have been denied.
Later in the press conference, President Johnson affirmed the right of the people to peacefully protest, but agreed that people do not have the right to yell fire in a crowded theater. And that still remains something that is controversial to this day. We've been following a case in the panhandle of Florida who believe that people do not have the right to free speech. And that is insane. Now, in 1991, the Justice Department announced Exxon agreed to pay $1 billion for the cleanup of the Exxon Valdez oil spill in Alaska. That $1 billion, we double that today, $2.2 billion. 1992, Warren Beatty, Annette Bening tied the knot on this date in 1992 after meeting and starring in the motion picture Bugsy.
The way you were staring at me, I thought you were going to ask me for something a little more exciting.
Like what?
Use your imagination.
I'm using it.
Let me know when you're finished.
After the movie wrapped, Bening became pregnant with the couple's first child, born January 8th of 1992. They married on this date 2 months later. 2013, Pope Francis elected in the papal conclave as the 266th Pope of the Catholic Church. And it was on this date 4 years ago today, President Trump declared the COVID-19 pandemic to be a national emergency in the U.S. Passing away on this date in history, the 23rd President of the United States, Benjamin Harrison, women's suffrage activist Susan B. Anthony, attorney Clarence Darrow, who was the defense counsel in that famous Scopes monkey trial, Maureen Stapleton, the actress. You remember him from Press Your Luck, game show host Peter Tamarkin, pro wrestler, probably better known to my era as manager Arnold Skolin, also a pro wrestler Test, pro boxer Marvelous Marvin Hagler, and actor William Hurt, all passing away on this date in history. Birthdays on this date include John Larkin, better known as Scatman John.
Everybody stutters one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't let nothing hold you back. If the scat man can do it, so can you. Everybody's saying that the scat man stutters but doesn't never stutter when he sings. But what you don't know, I'm gonna tell you right now that the stutter and the scat is the same thing. Yo, I'm the scat man.
I actually opened my show with the intro to that, which I didn't play. Scatman John, born on this date in 1942. Also born on this date, British Prime Minister Earl Grey, whose tea survives to this day. First Lady Abigail Fillmore of the U.S. Also musicians Swing and Sway with Sammy Kaye. Science fiction author, founder of Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard. Mad cartoonist Al Jaffee, who passed away last year at the age of 102. And his artwork was something else. And you remember him as Rerun in What's Happening? Fred Berry, born on this date in history, taken from us far too young. He passed in 2003.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
Yes, this is Donald Duck's birthday. The tough old duck turns 90 today. Singer-songwriter Neil Sedaka, who's had, 3 or 4 musical careers in the 50s and the 70s and the 90s. Neil Sedaka, 85 today. From Fargo and Shameless, William H. Macy turns 74. From China Beach, Dana Delaney is 68. From The X-Files and West Wing, Annabeth Gish is 53. From That 70s Show, Danny Masterson, 48. From Shameless and Twilight, Noel Fisher turns 40. And from Into the Wild, Emil Hirsch is 39. And those just some of the people who celebrate the 13th day of March as their birthday. This is your birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
I neglected to mention this earlier in the show, but it's a really good day because Friday the 13th came on a Wednesday this month. And now we're going to have the first of our Wednesday, I call it Western Wednesday because we have Westerns, but we're also going to have some crime drama first, going back 78 years to Jay Jostyn's run as Mr. District Attorney, March 13, 1946, and the case of the deadly train. That's all straight ahead here on this Wednesday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you saving old newspapers, magazines, paper bags, and boxes? Paper is a vital war material, and there's a serious shortage. Sell your waste paper or give it to a local charity. And now we move out of the theater and into the street.
Recycling for an entirely different purpose in the World War II times. Now we go back 78 years to March 13th, 1946 on Classic Radio Theater and bring you an episode of Mr. District Attorney starring Jay Jostyn. And this episode is entitled The Case of the Deadly Train.
Mr. District Attorney, champion of the people, defender of truth, guardian of our fundamental rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Mr. District Attorney is brought to you by two famous Bristol Myers products, Vitalis and Sal Hepatica. Vitalis for hair that's well groomed. Sal Hepatica for the smile of health. Vitalis, Sal Hepatica.
And it shall be my duty as District Attorney not only to prosecute to the limit of the law all persons accused of crimes perpetrated within this county, but to defend with equal vigor the rights and privileges of all its citizens.
The Case of the Deadly Train. Our story opens tonight in the station master's office of a Chicago railroad terminal, just off the main waiting room.
I think you know the members of my party, Mr. Billings. This is Miss Miller, my secretary.
Mr. Billings?
How do you do?
And this is my chief special investigator, Mr. Harrington.
How are you, Mr. Harrington?
And this is Tom Niles. Mr. Billings is the conductor of the train we're taking back home, Niles.
Go ahead, Niles. You can talk in here.
Look, can't we get going? I mean, isn't it time to get on the train?
He's handcuffed to you, Mr. Harrington? Yeah, that's right. Just a precaution, conductor. This is one trip we're going to be sure to make, huh, Chief?
I've told Mr. Billings the importance we attach to getting Niles back home with us, Harrington. I might say again, while we're all here, however, that we'll stop at nothing to make sure of it.
I read in the papers how important he is. Going to identify that killer for you in your trial, isn't that it?
Yes, Niles has agreed to make the identification. Unfortunately, the newspapers have also printed the fact that he's the only witness I have against Johnny Galena. That sort of publicity isn't helpful at all.
The Journal gave it the front page this morning, Chief. Did you see it, Harrington?
Yeah, I'll say I did. They hit it right on the nose, too. Said the district attorney considered Niles so important, he came out here personally to extradite him.
Hey, look, can't we...
Yeah, okay, Niles, calm down. Calm down. There's nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about. Are you crazy? Johnny Galena's got friends, ain't he? You think they're going to let me identify him if they can stop me?
Oh, they'll do nothing, Niles. You're in my protection now, and I'll keep my promise to you. Is the train ready, Mr. Billings?
I've got everything arranged.
Sure, you keep your promise. They let me out of jail here to go back with you, sure, and all I get out of it is to be a target. Don't you see,
You better get going, Harrington.
Yeah, right, Chief. Come on, Niles, and remember, when we go out that door, don't look to the right or the left, see? Just follow the conductor here.
I'll take them directly to drawing room B. Is that right?
Fine. You have your ticket, Miss Miller?
Right, Chief. Bedroom H. I'll get on last, the way you said it.
Call me, Mr. Harrington.
Let's go, Niles.
I'll check with you later, Harrington, as soon as I get to my own bedroom.
Passengers holding tickets.
Just remember, GA, you're responsible for me.
Niles, I assure you, you won't be out of my mind for a moment. Not until I've got you safely on the stand against Galena. All right, Harrington, go on.
Right. Let's go.
You wait a few minutes, Miss Miller, and then board with the crowd outside. All right?
Yeah, I know what to do, Chief.
Good. I'll find you when I need you. In the meantime, don't recognize me on the train. It's better if we're not seen together.
Chief.
Yes?
You're worried about this trip, aren't you?
Frankly, Miss Miller, I am. Niles is my only witness in a trial that means... Well, you know what it means.
Sure, Chief.
I've got to get that man there to testify. Yes, and in condition to testify, too. So let's hope for the best.
Passengers loading at gate.
Well?
They're on the train, all right. The DA's assistant has Niles in drawing room B.
Harrington?
Is that the name on the orders?
Yeah. His picture's in the folder.
Never mind, Elsie. It's him, all right. Niles was handcuffed to him. They're in B, right in this car.
The DA's with him?
He's in bedroom alone. This car, too. The boy sure worked that all right. We're right between them.
Oh. Johnny's got money, you know. Why shouldn't he get things worked right?
He will. Getting me to pull this job for him was the smartest thing he ever did.
Getting us, Ben. I come in on that fee. Don't forget.
Well, don't you always come in on what I do, baby?
Oh, sure. Like that washed-out blonde in the lobby last night.
Huh? Oh, I was just a kid, Elsie. Forget it.
Forget it?
Sure.
You leave me sitting in that lousy hotel room for 2 solid hours, and when I come down,
Okay, forget it, will you? We got work to do.
One of these days, so help me.
Will you shut up? You've been harping about that dame all day.
Well, why not? If I hadn't come down for that movie magazine when I did, you'd probably be with her yet. Just a kid.
Will you pipe down? We got plans to make.
Sure. If you want the ticket stubs,
Huh?
the guy collected while you were out.
No, keep them. I got plans to make, I said.
Let's have it.
Now, look. The way I figure it,
Well?
You stop glaring at me. How can I work with you shooting off your face all the time?
All right, go on. What's the plan?
All right. Well, they're all 3 on this car, see? Harrington, Niles, and the DA himself.
Yeah.
The best thing is to get over with it fast, Elsie. That way we can get off at Toledo, be back in Chicago before they know what hit them.
Back to the blonde, I suppose.
Will you listen, Elsie, and get this straight? I got a job to do now, a big job. For Johnny Galena, too, the biggest guy in the racket.
I know that.
So I don't fool around, get it? Now you shut up and listen to your orders, baby. Because this is one show I'm going to run right.
Excuse me, may I get through, please?
Yes, certainly. Oh, here, I'll open the door for you.
Is everything all right, Chief?
Well, so far, so good, Miss Miller. The conductor's collected all the tickets in our car, and he reports everything seems in order.
Harrington's in the drawing room?
With Niles, yes. I'm going to relieve him while he gets some dinner. In the meantime, I think you might circulate a little. See if anyone strikes you as out of the ordinary.
I will, Chief. I was just going into the ladies' dressing room when I saw you in the aisle.
Yes, I see. You might try the club car later on, too. You know what to do.
Right.
I'll wait here a moment until you're out of sight. If you need me, I'll be in the drawing room with Harrington.
All right, Chief. If I can't get back to you without being seen, I'll send a note by the porter.
All right, that's fine. And be careful, Miss Miller. Be just as careful as you can.
Oh, pardon me. Are you using this dressing table?
Oh, go right ahead.
Thank you.
I was just going to see if I can do anything with my makeup. Honestly, the way your face can get dirty.
Yeah, isn't it something? You going all the way through, are you?
That's right, dearie. Say, you don't happen to have an extra cleansing tissue, do you?
Why, yes. Yes, I do. It's right here in my bag.
Oh, thanks.
There you are.
Thanks a lot.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. The train swerved and I must have knocked your purse on the floor.
Well, don't worry. I'll get it.
Let me.
I'll get it, I said. Let my purse alone.
But I was only...
Never mind. You can have the makeup table if you want it. I'm finished.
I'm sorry about your purse. Surely you don't think I would...
it. So long, dearie. Thanks for the tissue.
Yes, you're quite welcome. Oh, Porter. Oh. Down here, please, and hurry.
Here's a seat, young lady. Right here.
Oh, thanks. You sure it ain't taken?
Not if you wanted it, ain't? Best seat in the club car, too. Gives you a view of where you just been.
It's exciting, ain't it?
That's Indiana. Nothing exciting about that.
Oh, I don't know. Ever been in Gary?
We just passed through it, little girl. Hey, can I buy you a drink?
After a while, maybe. Ooh, I got such a head from last night. I don't think I can look at one.
Gary, huh? You in business in Gary?
I'm in business wherever I hang my hat, mister.
Yeah? What kind of business?
Why don't you guess?
Well, let me see. Could be a model, you know. Got the looks for it.
Thanks.
But you're not.
I guess you'd call me a booster.
Huh?
Always sticking up for the hometown. That's one definition, ain't it?
There are others, you know. Like shoplifting.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Want to trade handles, kid? Mine's Ben. Ben Mott.
Hi. Smith. Edith Smith.
I'll bet.
Girl's got to be careful, Ben. She can't go around spilling her name, can she?
She Can if she's out from the wall.
Maybe she ain't.
Ever been nailed, Edie?
By the cops? Yeah, in Denver.
Yeah? Where in Denver?
In the shed. Railroad station to you.
I know the lingo, Edie. What was the rap? Boosting?
I was doing the hook for the troop. It was a go-back deal, and I end up with the bad man.
You know the lingo yourself. St. Paul, you said?
What are you doing, kidding me, Ben? Nobody but a lamster gives St. Paul a play. This was Denver. The fix was in, so here I am.
You know, Edie,
Yeah?
you're okay. Really okay.
Oh, sure. I'm in great shape, I am.
What's the matter, you broke?
I said the fix was in, didn't I? What do you think happened to my Faldo?
You, got any plans, Edie?
Oh, the big city. I thought maybe if I spend my last buck on a train like this, I could line up a mark.
Who for? Traveling with somebody?
No, I'm alone. I just thought I'd get in a new troop faster if I arrived with a sucker all set.
Yeah, you would at that. You're smart, Edie.
You don't sound so dumb yourself, Ben. Hey, I'll take that drink now.
Sure thing. I'll ring the... Oh, wait a minute. Maybe we can go back to my compartment and have a real drink.
You got a view of Indiana back there?
I got a plan, Edie. I think maybe your Just-a Kid would go for it, too.
How's the score?
Plenty. Matter of fact, this is a business trip. Big business.
Oh?
I got a partner already, but, you know how it is. The way my business runs, I need new blood.
You know, Ben,
Yeah?
I got plenty of blood. Let's go back to your trap and, have that drink.
I won't be long, Chief. It's early. The diner shouldn't be crowded.
It's all right. Take your time, Harrington. I'll stay here with Niles until you get back.
What about me? When do I get to eat?
I don't think it would be wise to take you into the diner, Niles. We'll have something brought back here later on.
Yeah, I'll take care of it, Chief.
Right.
Say, is Miss Miller in her bedroom?
She's checking the train. Oh, and it'll be safer all around. All right, take your time.
Safer all around. And you do think somebody might...
Now, take it easy, Niles. Take it easy. Nothing's going to happen to you.
I'm scared, I tell you. I was a fool to tell the warden I'd do
Now,
it.
relax, I said. There's nothing to worry about.
Sure, that's easy for you to say. I'm the guy they want to shut up.
They won't. I've told you the trial in which you're going to testify means just about everything to me. So help me, I'm going to see that you do.
They sent her in to get some food.
She? Oh, I see.
Do you?
What's the matter, Ben? She cramp your style?
You wouldn't. Would you, Edie?
What do you think? What's the job, Ben?
Not so fast, lady. Let's see who you know first.
Well, let's see. Did you ever hear of Swede Larson out of Cincinnati?
Point out man, yeah.
Kugler?
Runs a cannon mob in Shy.
Well?
How about a big boy, Edie? Say, like Johnny Galena.
He's standing a rap, ain't he?
Won't be a rap if Tom Miles doesn't identify him at the trial, you know.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
What would you say if I told you Niles is on this train?
And that's the job, Tom Niles?
Maybe.
You must be big yourself, Ben, doing a job for Johnny Galena.
I'm big enough to take care of you, Edie. The two of us for a long, long time.
Ben, Why, you louse.
Elsie, I thought you were in the diner.
Yeah, I bet you did. Well, that ties it. It's her.
Look,
Why,
Elsie,
you poor fool. That's the dame I was telling you about.
Huh?
She's the one gave my purse the once-over in the ladies' room.
What?
Why, that's true, but I told you you'd make a false move, Ben. Now you've blown it for good.
Sit down, Elsie. Let's straighten this out.
Yeah? You think I'm nuts? She's probably got the train swarming with cops. I'm getting out of here.
Sit down, I said.
And stay for the rap? What kind of a fool do you think I am?
Now, wait a minute. There's been a mistake.
I'll say there's been a mistake, dearie. Him. I should have pulled out long ago.
I warned you, Elsie. Sit down.
Let go of me, you two-timing bum! I'm going to see to it that you get yours once and for all.
Elsie, put that gun down.
I knew she had a gun in that bag.
That's right, dearie. Now here's where you get off the joyride, Ben, and right into the arms of the law.
Look, honey, calm down a minute.
The minute my back is turned.
You know that ain't true, Elsie. I've always come back to you, haven't I?
Yeah, you've always come back, but that's not good enough.
Look, Elsie, this dame don't mean a thing to me, and she's not hooked up with a cop. She's a booster out of Denver.
That's right, Elsie. I'm not after your guy.
You keep out of this.
Elsie, look at me, baby. I love you, honey. You know that, don't you? Don't you?
Oh, Ben, if I could only believe
You
you.
know me, baby. Why I'm all for you. Always have been. Come on. Come on. Let me have that heat.
Oh, Ben, if you'd only play square with me. I get all riled up like this, and I don't know what I'm doing.
That's my girl. Now let me have the gun, Elsie.
Here, take it.
That's right, Elsie. Thanks.
You see, Ben,
Oh, don't.
Don't. I haven't even started on her. Pull a gun on me, will you?
Ben, no.
So you're going to let me have it, won't you, Elsie, huh? And with a rod, too. Nice and noisy, so the whole train could hear.
I didn't mean it, Ben. It was just my temper.
Yeah, well, I do mean it, kid. I'm through with that loud mouth of yours once and for all.
Ben, no. Look out, Elsie. He's got a
You
knife.
keep out of this. Come on, Elsie. Here's where we say goodbye.
Ben! You killed her. You...
It's like we said, Edie. You blood for old. Now, come on. Let's you and me straighten this out.
Yes,
You
but...
got questions to answer, little girl. And while you're talking, just keep your eyes on this knife.
We'll see what your district attorney makes of this in just a moment. But first, a definition of an optimist.
An optimist is a man who takes the worst of it and makes the best of it.
Now, a man is certainly getting the worst of it when he wakes up in the morning feeling sick and headachy due to the need of a laxative.
But if he's an optimist, he makes the best of it.
Yes, chances are he reaches for his sal hepatica. For you see, a sparkling glass of sal hepatica when you get up brings quick, gentle relief, usually within an hour. And that means you don't have to risk feeling miserable all day waiting until night to take a laxative.
And that's not all. In addition to quick, gentle relief, Sal Hepatica brings you another important advantage. This famous saline helps sweeten an upset stomach by helping to reduce excess gastric acidity.
So, friends, be sure that you, too, keep a bottle of Sal Hepatica handy. Remembering this caution, use only as directed. Noon or night. See how much faster you feel better thanks to gentle, speedy Sal Hepatica. Now back to Mr. District Attorney.
I'll take another look through the train, Mr. District Attorney, if you think that'll help.
Well, yes, I wish you would, Mr. Billings. I can't understand where she is.
I told you something would happen. I knew it.
Pipe down, Niles. Hey, Chief, you sure Miss Miller ain't in her bedroom?
Positive.
Suppose I have that look at the other cars. Will you be here?
Well, no, I think I'll go back to my bedroom, Mr. Billings. You'll find me there.
She'll turn up, I'm sure. One thing, she can't get off the train.
Yeah, Chief, I don't like this at all. You ain't seen her since she started back for the club car?
Before dinner.
Did you hear the conductor? He said she couldn't get off the train.
Well, she couldn't. It must be doing 70 through here.
She could get pushed off, couldn't she?
That'll be enough of that, Niles.
I'm scared, I tell you. You promised to take care of me.
Shut up, Niles. Shut up. You're all right.
Oh, I'll go back to my bedroom, Harrington. I don't like to stay in here with you too long.
Yeah, right, Chief.
We'll see what the conductor's search reveals. If he doesn't find Miss Miller...
Yeah?
Then we will, Harrington. I promise you we will.
Yes, come in. Oh, come in, Mr. Billings.
She's not in sight, Mr. District Attorney. I covered the whole train.
I see.
But this turned up.
Yes?
Seems a young lady gave the porter a note for you before dinner.
Miss Miller?
I think so, sir.
Yes?
Here, it's written on the back of a ticket stub.
Let me see it.
The porter had been warned about this car, you see. I told him myself to be careful.
See. You say she gave him this note before dinner?
He held it, sir. He was afraid to deliver anything without checking with
I've got to
me.
get out of here, conductor. Which way is compartment G?
To your left, 4 down.
Wait for me. I may need your help. Excuse me, will you please? May I get through?
Take it easy, Bud. Just let me get out of your way.
I'm sorry, but I'm in a hurry.
You sure are.
Thank you. Excuse me, please. I've got to get through.
I tell you, you can't stop people like Johnny Galena. He'll do anything.
Oh, look, Niles, you've been whining ever since we left Chicago. Will you shut up?
Take off my handcuffs, Harrington. Chained to you this way, I haven't got a chance.
Look, for the last time, my job is to protect you. Do you understand? These cuffs stay, kid. You and me, real cozy like.
I'm scared.
Yeah, you said that. If I were you, I'd...
Hey, look, we're...
Hey, it's a wreck. Hang on, Niles. Hang on.
Let go. We're turning. Car's turning over.
Look out. Look out for the window.
Harrington.
Hey, Niles. Niles, are you all right?
I'm pinned, Harrington. I can't move.
It's this beam. It's on my chest.
Can't move, I tell you, Harrington.
Shut up. There's no need to get in a panic.
Get me out of here. Get me out.
I can't move either, I tell you. If you ain't hurt, just shut up.
Hey, listen.
Hey, they're coming in for us already. Do you hear them? They must be using the axe. Yeah, we're all right. Just get this beam off it.
You in there, Niles?
I'm pinned. I can't move.
Just keep coming. I can see the light where you broke the side. Keep coming.
You, Harrington?
Yeah. Keep coming.
Through the side, see? Through the side of the car.
Don't worry. I'll get there. Just take it easy.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. Who are you?
You'll find out, Harrington. So you're pinned, are you, Niles?
Harrington.
Don't get panicky, Niles. Wait till I reach for my gun.
Just stay where you are, Niles. I'll take care of you.
Harrington, it's Ben Mott. He's gonna kill me. I remember him from Chicago.
I can't reach my gun. Oh, this beam, if I could only push this beam up.
Harrington, you said you'd protect me.
There you are. Just a minute now, and I'll be there.
Harrington, look, he's got a knife.
Hey, drop that knife. Drop it, do you hear me?
Sure, I've got a cover.
Oh.
Right in your little pal here.
No, Mott, don't.
So you thought you'd turn
Harrington.
that on Johnny Galena, huh?
Harrington.
I warned you.
I'll do nothing, copper. You just lie there till I finish with him.
No, Ben, please,
One
Ben.
more push, Niles, and I got you, you dirty rat.
Harrington, help me! Help me!
I can't.
Wheel on Johnny, would you? Here's where you...
No. Harrington. Oh, Chief.
You all right in there? I can't see over this body.
Yeah, you got him, Chief. It's okay now.
Just lie quietly, Harrington. We'll be through to you in a minute.
Right. Hey, Niles.
Niles, are you all right?
I'm all right. He's dead.
All right, men. Let's cut away this beam.
Oh, Chief. Chief, that was close.
You get some water, Miss Miller.
Right.
There's a doctor out on the tracks.
Well, I'm okay, Chief.
There's no one dead or hurt, Chief. This is the only car that went over. The train hit an empty truck on the road.
Oh, good. Miss Miller, where does she...
Well, it's quite a story, Harrington. But first, let's get you and Niles outside. We've got a trip to finish, you know. All right, men, let's go.
Your district attorney will return in just a moment to explain his rescue of Harrington and Niles. But first, here's a young lady who seems to be very happy indeed.
Hallelujah, my guy's come back.
Well, glad to hear he's back, young lady. And in lots of other ways, too, life is getting settled again. For instance, Vitalis is back. Yes, back on drug counters everywhere.
Vitalis? What's Vitalis?
Vitalis is for keeping dry, unruly hair under control.
It is? Well, then I guess that guy of mine must be using Vitalis. His hair is always well-groomed.
Well-groomed in a natural masculine way?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Well-groomed, yet free from that patent leather shine?
Yes, sir.
That's Vitalis, all right. What's more, Vitalis and the 60-second workout stimulates circulation, prevents scalp dryness, routs embarrassing loose dandruff, helps retard excessive falling hair. And that's why we say to men, to look your best tomorrow, get a bottle of Vitalis tonight. Now, here is your district attorney.
Well, I want to say first, ladies and gentlemen, that Tom Niles went on the stand in my prosecution of Johnny Galena, and because of his testimony, we were able to secure another very important conviction in our war against crime.
Yeah, I still say that was close, Chief. If you hadn't been right behind Ben in that wreckage, he'd have killed Niles, sure.
Chief, I think you'd better explain just how you knew Ben was making his way through the wreck to Harrington and Niles.
But it was your note that did it, Miss Miller. The note the porter delayed delivering until just before the wreck. When you were in the ladies' dressing room with Elsie, that started the whole thing.
When her purse fell, Harrington, I noticed it was heavy. Too heavy for an ordinary lady's handbag.
Oh, she was carrying a gun, huh?
I'll say she was. Fortunately, when I picked up the bag, her compartment receipt fell out. I wrote the note to the chief on the back of it.
Yes, and as soon as I got the note, I went immediately to that compartment. As Miss Miller had written, the occupant seemed suspicious.
That's a mild word for Ben, Chief. After he tied me up, I thought I was done for.
Yeah, so you found Miss Miller in Ben's compartment, huh, Chief?
Yes, Harrington, and Elsie's body. Miss Miller told me Ben had started for you, and so I followed him. Fortunately, neither of us was hurt in the wreck, and Ben managed to get out of the car first, but I wasn't far behind him.
Boy, am I glad you stayed on his tail. Oh, hey, Chief, what about next week?
Well, next week, ladies and gentlemen, our story concerns one of the most unusual and interesting criminals in our files. It's the case of the dangerous clown, and I invite you to join us for it. And until then, thank you, and good night.
The names of all characters in tonight's dramatization are fictitious, and any resemblance to names of living persons or actual places is purely coincidental. Our stars were Jay Jostyn in the title role, Len Doyle as Harrington, and Vicky Vola as Miss Miller. The music was under the direction of Peter Van Steeden, and the authors were Edward Byron and Robert Shaw. And remember, Vitalis for hair that's well-groomed, Sal Hepatica for the smile of health. Vitalis and Sal Hepatica, two famous Bristol Myers products, which each week bring you Mr. District Attorney. Men, so often the girls say,
"What a man. If only he had that clean-shaven, masculine look."
But many men say their faces are too tender for close, clean shaving.
And girls say, "No alibis, please."
And I say no alibis necessary. Not when you rely on Ingram shaving cream. That rich Ingram lather helps condition your face for the razor. You get cool, soothing shaves in comfort. Remember, men, comfort means coolness. Coolness means Ingram. INGRAM. Ingram, the cooler shaving cream. Try Ingram yourself.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
From 78 years ago, March 13th, 1946, Mr. District Attorney on this Wednesday, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. More crime tomorrow with Philo Vance, The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, Richard Diamond, The Lives of Harry Lime, and The Police Reporter. That's all coming up on Thursday. Coming up next, though, an episode of Nightbeat.
You can have vegetables, lots of them, on your table next winter. You can have your own fresh vegetables on your table this summer if you have your own Victory Garden. Yes, there's no restriction on home canning and home processing of vegetables and garden fruits and berries. Plan your Victory Garden now. Get your garden plot lined up. Get the advice of a garden expert if you need it, and be prepared to grow your own for victory. Join a garden club or community garden movement, or share a garden with your neighbors. You can help win the battle of food production. You can help our fighting men get the food they need. You can help save the vital metals used in commercial canning if you grow your own Victory Garden in 1943. For further information, write to Victory Gardens, Washington, D.C. Victory Gardens, Washington, D.C.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we have an episode of Nightbeat, a one-season series starring Frank Lovejoy, one of my favorite radio actors from 74 years ago, March 13th, 1950. Am I my brother's keeper?
Nightbeat.
Hi, this is Randy Stone. I cover the Nightbeat for the Chicago Star. My stories start in many different ways. This one began in the shattering turmoil of a manhunt and ended in the quietness of the morgue.
Nightbeat, starring Frank Lovejoy as Randy Stone.
People are always telling me how lucky I am to have a job where all I've got to do is walk around Chicago at night looking for a story. It's a dandy little job, sure. All you need's a pneumonia jacket, an extra set of arch supports, and a goodly supply of penicillin, and you're all set. The city at night. Fascinating. That old nose for news, frozen stiff and ready to fall off. Those eagle eyes so watery and bloodshot from the wind they wouldn't serve a self-respecting canary. Yes, sir, it's lovely work if you can get it. Brothers and sisters, have I got it. Oh, I guess I was just bitter. I'd walked from the Loop to the near north side, waiting for a story to tap me gently on the shoulder, and so far it was no hits, no runs, and no errors. The streets were empty. Everybody was home hugging a radiator. And then, far away, I heard that lonely blues in the night sound, a police siren. And then another, and another. And then it seemed like there was a whole chorus of sirens singing about what a cruel, cruel world it all was. And then one siren separated itself from the rest and came closer, a prowl car coming down the street, stopping just a few yards away from me, and a police officer jumping out of it and hurrying to a call box. The officer passed under the street lamp, and I saw the excited look on his face, and I thought, all right, Stone, you lucky dog, let's go to work.
This is Malachek. Yeah, okay, we're on our way over there right now. Right.
Officer, just a second.
What do you want, mister?
What's up? Sounds like every squad car in the city's on the loose.
Look, I got no time, mister. Read it in the papers tomorrow.
Oh, I never touch the stuff. Look, the name is Stone, Chicago Star.
Oh, reporter?
Well, mildly, that's a general call, isn't it?
I got no time to stand here, Gavin. I'll give it to you fast. Gig Sanders busted loose.
Sanders? Great. When and how?
Read it in your paper, Stone. All right, Crossan, let's move. They got him trapped.
Gig Sanders, two-time loser, a killer, loose in a city of 4 million people, and everyone his enemy. I hurried to a phone, checked with the police, and then drove over to that part of Chicago called the Badlands. That strange area belonging to every city, surrounded by business section, yet itself run-down, deteriorated, filled with tenements and abandoned factories. It was there the police had thrown a cordon around a boarded-up building. My pass got me through and up to the front line, and Police Captain Arlen.
Hello, Stone.
Oh, the hunt's on, huh?
I don't know. We'll see in a minute.
Sanders in that building?
Got a tip he would be. Wait a second. All right, Billings. Turn the searchlight on the building. Keep two of them on the roof. Run the others back and forth.
Right.
Sticking around, Stone?
Yeah, I guess so. You sure Sanders is in there?
No, but we couldn't afford to pass up the tip.
The tip? Where'd it come from?
No, it's just a phone call. But Sanders knew this neighborhood like the back of his hand, likely to be here.
Captain Ireland, ready with the speaker now.
Okay, bring it here. Malachek.
There's quite a crowd gathered for the kill.
Yeah, making it tough for us. Sanders is armed like an artillery corps, and if he's in there...
I see what you mean. How'd he get away?
Haven't got the full details yet, but he was being taken to the death house. Killed a cop.
He's a nice boy.
Here you are, Captain.
Okay. All right. Here it goes.
Sanders? Sanders! Listen to me. There's no way out of that building that isn't covered. Come out with your hands in the air. We'll give you 20 seconds. Hear that, Sanders? 20 seconds. We'll count them off for you.
Now, what if he doesn't show?
Tear gas first, then we'll go in after him.
If he comes out with his hands up, he goes to the death house. And if he doesn't...
He'll come out. Rats always believe there's a chance to beat the chair.
Where there's life, there's hope.
No sign of him. Malachek, come here.
Yes, sir.
Take the microphone. When I give the signal, start counting off 20 seconds.
Yes, sir.
You're giving him more than 20 seconds.
Not him, the crowd. They won't push in so close when the counting starts.
Oh, look at them. Look at those faces. Perfectly normal human beings for 23 and a half hours of the day. Give them something like this for 30 minutes and they become a mob. Waiting, watching, hoping for the kill.
People, Randy, want to change them?
Yeah, sure. We'll retool and put out a nice new 8-cylinder model with a convertible soul.
Get ready, Malachek.
Yes, sir.
Captain, there's my story.
Sanders?
Oh, no. That's for the front page, boys. That mob, that's my story. Look at that young couple right over there. Look at those two. They're hoping Sanders will come out shooting.
Otherwise, they'll want their money back, huh?
I suppose so. I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
I want to stand by that couple and listen to them.
All right. Malachek, start counting. But warn him first. Once more.
Sanders. We're going to start counting right now. Come out with your hands in the air or we'll cut you in half when we come in after you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I edged my way behind the young couple. They looked so nice and so human.
7,
but here they were, the same as all the rest.
9.
Go back just a little over 1,000 years, put on a toga, and take a seat in the Colosseum at Rome. Have a great day watching the gladiators butcher each other.
14.
Cheer for the lions, or, if you prefer people, cheer for the slave to kill the lion.
17.
Makes no difference. It's all the same holiday.
19.
Somebody gets killed.
20.
And then it started.
Let him have it!
It was all over in a few moments. The tear gas, the police rushing in with their masks on, the crowd straining forward to get a glimpse of Sanders. But there was no Sanders when the police came up.
Nobody in there, Captain Ireland.
He must have been.
No, sir, not a soul. We've covered every inch.
I watched the crowd, and strangely enough, there was relief on their faces, and even a little shame that they'd hoped for the kill. But the young couple in front of me.
He wasn't there, Ken. He wasn't there.
I know. Come on. Let's get out of here quick.
Ken, I'm sick.
Evie, hold on to me. Let us through, please. Let us through.
Yeah, here, this way. Come on. Will you clear the way, please?
She's sick, mister.
Maybe it's a natural reaction to disappointment.
Huh?
Nothing. Come on. We'll get through this way. Will you let us through, please? Excuse me, will you, please? Thank you.
She's got to sit down, mister. She's got it.
Okay. Here's my car. Let her get in here.
Kenny wasn't there. He's loose.
Never mind. Come on, baby. I'll get you home.
You better let me drive you.
No. We'll be all right.
Ken, I'm sick.
Just a little while, Evie. We'll be home.
Look, fella, it's easy to see what's the matter. She can't walk home in her condition.
It ain't far.
A block would be too far. I'll get a cab.
No. I don't want anybody around us.
Don't want anybody around you? That's a laugh. You bring her out here to this. Why didn't you take her on a nice tour through the packing houses?
Shut up. What right you got to talk like that?
The founding fathers gave it to me.
You don't know nothing about it. You don't know.
Ken, take me home.
Look, my car is still here. You're in no spot to refuse help, no matter what your reason. Now, come on.
Let him take us, Kenny, please.
Come on. They lived very close. It didn't take over 3 minutes to get to their tenement building. I wanted to take her to a hospital, but she refused. She refused in a way that made me look at her hard. And there was another thing, the way she reacted when the police found out Gig Sanders wasn't in the oil factory. Terror. That's what it was, sheer terror. And I helped her husband carry her up the stairs and into their meager little flat.
On the couch, mister.
Yes.
Okay. There. Now, have you got a phone?
What for?
Call a doctor.
We ain't got a phone. But there's a drugstore.
No, Ken.
But, baby...
We gotta get out. We ain't got time for a doctor now. Just let me rest.
You're in no
gotta
condition
get
to refuse a doctor.
I'm all right now.
Yeah, sure. It ain't gonna be for 3 weeks. That's what the doctor said.
3 weeks, and you drag her out to that great exhibition? Why didn't she...
Shut up. I told you before you didn't know nothing about it. Mind your own business and leave us alone. What are you looking like that for?
What's the matter with you, with both of you?
Nothing.
Oh, yes, there is. You're scared stiff. Of what?
Please go, like Kenny says. Leave us alone.
Well, let me phone for a doctor from the drugstore. I won't come back. Just the doctor.
Evie?
No, we ain't got time, Kenny. Don't you know that? We ain't got time. He's loose, Ken. He's loose.
Evie, baby, don't.
You're talking about Gig Sanders, aren't you? Why? Why are you afraid of him? Do you know him? Come on, what about a talk?
No, not to nobody.
You're scared of Sanders. Why?
Look, mister, you helped us, all right? Thanks. Now get out of here.
We gotta tell somebody.
I said nobody. You know what'll happen.
We gotta tell. Mister, who are you?
My name is Stone, Chicago Star.
Newspaper.
That frighten you?
Maybe he can help. Maybe he can.
Nobody can. You know that.
I'll tell him.
Evie, shut up.
It was Kenny who tipped the cops.
Evie.
I had to tell somebody. Maybe he can help.
That's the truth, Kenny?
Yeah. It was me tipped the cops.
That Sanders was in the factory?
I thought he might be, but he wasn't.
All right. Now tell me something else. How do you know so much about it? Come on, if you want me to help, I gotta know you're on the level, so tell me.
Tell him.
How do I know that he won't go straight to the police? How do I know that?
We gotta trust somebody. We gotta.
Can we trust anybody?
Well, try it and see.
Him and me in the same gang once. I did time, but I got out before he did. I went straight because...
Go ahead.
It was for me.
Oh. All right, now, how about the tip to the police? There'll be a reward, you know. Sanders is big time.
I didn't do it for no reward.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Mr. Stone, help us.
How? How can I help?
By getting out now and keeping your trap shut up.
And that'll help? No, you'll be back where you started. Your wife knows that, or she wouldn't have asked me to help.
Gig will come after us.
How would he know that you gave the information to the police?
He'll guess. We used that factory plenty of times for a hideout. Nobody else knew how to get in. There's a cellarway.
All right. Let me ask you another question, Kenny.
What?
Why did you tip the police?
Gig hates me.
Why?
Kenny married me while Gig was still in the pen.
Oh, you were his girl?
No, I never was. I never was his girl at all. I was like everything else Gig liked. Everything was his, no matter who it belonged to. To him, a girl was like anything else. His gun, his clothes. Anytime Gig Sanders wanted something, it was his. I never loved him. I told him, but he just laughed like what I felt didn't mean nothing.
I see. And now?
Now he's loose. He hates me because of Evie, and he's going to know I tipped the coppers. Mr. Stone, if it's the last thing he does, he's going to get us, Evie and me.
You are listening to Nightbeat, starring Frank Lovejoy as Randy Stone.
Those kids were scared, plenty scared. I asked them the only question that made sense, and I got my answer.
Go to the police? Sure. A guy who serves time goes to the cops. He tells them he gave him a bum steer. They got every copper in Chicago around that factory while Gig gets away someplace else. Yeah, sure. They'd believe me, wouldn't they?
Well, try it. I'll go with you.
Listen, you don't know. I changed my name. I moved all over the state looking for a job. This is the only place I could get one. I had to come back here.
So what does that prove?
It'll be in the papers. He'll lose his job, Mr. Stone.
I can't do that. Not with Evie.
Now, what do you want me to do?
Look, maybe if I give you a list of the places the coppers might find Gig, maybe you could tip him.
What if he doesn't show up?
There ain't many places he can go.
Look, maybe by this time he's out, maybe even out of the state. He's killed an officer. He won't dare to stay here.
Gig As long as he knows Evie and me are still alive, he'll stay. He hates me so much, he'll take that chance.
Does he know you live here?
No. I ain't even seen any of the old bunch at all. I moved around.
Always moving. Keep away. Mr. Stone, go to the police.
But don't tell him nothing about me.
Will you get it through your head that they'll protect you?
Even so, Gig's got friends. If they find out it was me...
All right, yeah.
So you gotta go to the police.
All right. Where's the drugstore?
Right at the corner. You'll see it.
All right, stay right here. Keep your door locked until I get back. It was a short 2 minutes to the corner drugstore. I put in my call and started back to the flat. The street was quiet, deserted. The dirty tenements a solid block of ugliness against the night. I reached the tenement entrance, and I was just about to start up the steps.
Hey, pal.
Huh?
Don't turn around. Stand nice and quiet. That's it.
What is this, a holdup?
Sure, a holdup. Now listen to me. Take out a cigarette.
What?
Take out a cigarette. That's it. Now light it. Act natural. Good boy. Now?
Where are you?
In your car at the curb, smart boy.
What?
Don't turn around, I said. Take a look up and down the street.
I am.
Coppers?
No.
Okay. Now come here to the car. You're gonna do like I tell you, understand?
What do you want? Who?
You know who I am, Stone.
Yeah, I guess I do.
Listen, I'm going up to that flat you come.
Don't do it, Sanders.
Sure, I'm gonna do it. This gun says I can do it.
Leave the two kids alone.
Yeah, all alone.
You're wasting time, Sanders. Time you could use to better advantage.
Sure. Now step back a couple of feet. I'm getting out. Just stand there. Keep smoking a cigarette. Walk ahead of me. Straight in that house. Move. Up. Stop here.
Sanders, you're not going to do this and still have time to get away.
Real concerned about me, ain't you? Don't worry, I'm a big boy.
All right, give him a break.
Sure, like they was going to give me. Now listen, you're going back up to that flat. You're going to knock on the door and you're going to tell them to let you in. That clear?
What if I don't?
So be a hero. I'll get in anyway. It's just easier this way. Okay?
All right.
So let's go.
The slow walk up the stairs was a nightmare. I walked down the hall toward the flat where those two kids waited behind a door that they thought would keep the terror and death away from them. And then?
Knock.
Who is it?
Answer.
Sanders, please don't do it.
You're going to answer him?
Who is it?
Answer.
It's Stone, Kenny, but
It was a long time.
Inside. Shut her up or I will.
Evie, don't.
You, Stone. Lock that door. All right, Kenny boy. Over on the couch.
Gig, don't hurt Evie. She's gonna have...
I see, yeah. Congratulations.
Listen to me.
Shut up. Stone.
What?
Get over to the couch. On your way, turn out the light. And stay in line with the window so I can see you against the street lamp. Now sit down. We'll talk.
You gonna listen to me, Gig?
Sure, I'm a wonderful listener. Only make it good and funny, huh?
Even me fell in love, Gig. You ain't gonna blame us for that.
Evie and you fell in love. You think I worried about that? You think I cared what she did? Nah. It's what you done tonight.
He was afraid, Sanders. Afraid that you'd come after him because of Evie.
I thought about it, mister. Yeah, plenty. But I figured let it go. It ain't worth it. But this tonight is something different. Turning stooly.
You'll never get out of Chicago, Sanders. Every cop in the city will be looking for you.
It's nothing new to me. Now you, Kenny boy. You did tip the coppers, didn't you?
Gig, listen.
We're nothing.
You haven't got a chance, Sanders.
No chance? I always got a chance. My luck's good. You know why I wasn't in that factory, Kenny boy? Because my luck held. I had to get some dough first. And you know where I was? In that crowd, just standing there watching.
You were in the crowd?
Yeah, like watching my own funeral, only the coffin was empty. And I saw you and Evie, Kenny. That's how I knew where the tip come from.
All right, you're smart, Sanders. Now be smarter. You got us where you want us. We can't make a move, but if you kill us, you'll kill the time you need to get away.
I got ways. Like I come here. I followed you in a cab, then hid in your parked car. Now, ain't that smart? Evie, you ain't said nothing.
Gig, you're gonna kill us?
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you, Evie.
Sanders, you said your luck held. It can't hold forever. What you're doing now is giving the police minute after minute to catch up with you, and they will sooner or later. You killed an officer, Sanders. You know what that means.
Him or me, it had to be that way.
Doesn't have to be this way.
This way?
What Kenny done was to save Evie's life and the baby's, right or wrong. That's why he did it. What would you have done to save your own life?
I killed a cop to save my life. That answer you?
Yes, I guess it does.
So it makes sense. That's a radio there by you, ain't it?
Yeah.
Send it on. We're all gonna sit here and wait for the news. We're gonna see how I'm making out.
We sat in the semi-darkness of the room. The only light came from the window that faced the street. Then the 11 o'clock news broadcast came on.
The meeting tomorrow will tell us more. Tonight in Chicago, the city's manhunt goes on for Gig Sanvers, convicted and sentenced killer. Acting on an anonymous tip, the police surrounded the old Phillips factory, but Sanvers had not been there or had escaped before the cordon could be drawn tightly. Meanwhile, rewards totaling $2,800 have been offered.
Shut it up. 2,800. A real nice nest egg, huh, Kenny boy?
There wasn't any reward.
There is now.
Sanders.
What do you want, Stone?
You said you were smart.
So, what are you getting at?
Maybe you forgot one thing.
Yeah?
You came here in a cab.
So?
Did the driver get a look at your face?
Don't give me that. The cops would be here long before now.
Oh, no, Sanders. Only about a half hour has gone by since they tried for you in the factory. Figure it out. By the time the cab driver reports, by the time the police check...
Shut up.
You're wasting time. You got half a chance if you take it.
Yep. Yeah. I guess you talked me into it. Okay, I'll get going.
Gig, no. Please. No.
Gig, not Evie, not the baby.
The baby? Evie? I could have been rotting in that factory by now.
What satisfaction will you get from this, Sanders?
Satisfaction? Everything in the world.
You were friends.
Yeah, friends. Did you tell him how good friends we were, Kenny? Did you tell him how we played in the same dirty, stinking streets? How we ate the same slop in the orphan asylum? Did you tell him all that?
Gig.
Yeah, Evie, did you tell him how I was always the one to get Kenny out of jams when we were kids? They tell you that, Stone?
No, but you're thinking of it. Remember it.
I am. Oh, I am.
All Kenny wanted was a decent life.
Even if it cost mine, huh?
He wanted to live for his wife and their baby.
And I want to live.
For what?
You shouldn't have said that, Stone. I didn't have nothing against you till you said that. I was going to that death house when I busted loose. I figured a million ways to get away, and I took the chance when it come. I killed a cop. And I know what happens to a cop killer. I know. Yeah, they're coming. I guess you were right about that cabbie. The minute the cop will all be set up and ready to get me. Yeah, but I killed a cop. That's how bad I wanted to live. But nobody wants me to. Nobody. You hear? Nobody.
Listen, Sanders.
You listen. A couple of weeks ago, there was a leopard loose. You know what the people said? You know, Stone?
Yes, I know. They felt sorry for the leopard.
That's right. Everybody wanted that leopard taken alive. Nobody wanted it killed but me. I'm a human being, and they want to see me cut to pieces.
Maybe because that's all the difference in the world between you and that animal.
Is there? You're going to tell me the leopard would know better if he killed to get away? Well, I don't. No, because that's the way I learned to live.
Because you didn't want any other way, Sanders. Because it was the easiest way. You grew up in a gutter. You never wanted to get out of it. Other men did.
I ain't other man. I'm Gig Sanvers. Gig Sanvers.
Gig, they're all around. You ain't got a chance.
Yeah, and that's dandy for you. Just what you want.
No, Gig. No, I swear it ain't.
You swear. Now, you listen. I'm going out. Yeah, but not with my hands up. And I ain't gonna die alone.
Sanvers, don't. Do one last decent thing. Let these kids alone.
Gig, listen. I'll go with you.
Kenny, no.
Gig, I'll go with you. It'll be you and me again like it always was. I'll help you get away. We can do it together, Gig. We always used to, me and you, remember?
You're crazy, Kenny. If they think you're going out with him, you won't have a chance. They'll cut you down with him. You won't.
Kenny, stay here.
I gotta do it, Evie. You gotta see that. I have to do it. Gig, you want to kill me, all right. I'll be dead if that's what you want, but I'm going out with you. I got a gun.
Kenny, put it down. Don't.
So you got a gun. You got a gun. All right, shoot me. Why don't you shoot me?
I could have. Any time we were sitting here.
But you didn't. You was always soft, Kenny boy. You see, Stone, that's the difference between him and me.
Then shoot me. Go ahead, kill me now. But even if you don't, I'm going out with you, Gig.
Kenny, you're not talking sense.
Sanders, we know you're in there. Sanders, this is Captain Ireland. Listen to me. Sanders.
I'm listening, copper.
Sanders, there are innocent people in that building. We'll give them time to clear. If you've got any human decency left in you, wait before you do anything. But I warn you, Sanders, come out with your hands in the air.
What are you going to do?
You know what I'm going to do? Coppers! Coppers, I'm coming out! Right out the front door. Tell everybody else to stay in. Tell them.
All right, Sanders, but with your hands up. Now listen, people. Stay in your rooms, lie down on the floor, and stay away from windows and doors.
I'm coming, coppers.
They'll kill you, Gig.
Sanders, go out with your hands in the air.
Oh, sure. Now, Evie, Kenny.
Gig.
Sanders.
Do it then, Gig. Do it and get it over with.
Kenny, boy, get where I can see your face.
Think what you're doing, Sanders.
Shut up, son. And the light by the window, Kenny. Now, let me look at you. You said you'd go out with me.
Yeah.
Kenny, don't lie to me now. Don't lie now.
I'll go with you, Gig.
Swear it's the truth, Kenny. Swear it's the truth.
I don't have to swear it, Gig. You're looking at me.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going out alone.
And what about Kenny, Evie?
I can rot in this stinking world. I can rot. Not me. I'm going out. I'm going out and meet all the coppers in Chicago.
Gig, stay where you are.
He's gone. He's gone.
Sanders, come out with your hands up.
Hello, coppers!
Well, there's $2,800 lying down there, Kenny. You better go down and pick it up.
I don't want it.
You had all the chance in the world. Why didn't you kill him?
I couldn't. Gig Sanders was my brother.
Now it's almost dawn again, and I've written another story. It's a story that began a long time ago when a man looked up and answered a question with another question. Am I my brother's keeper? There's an answer to that, and our society has made it. Yes, you are your brother's keeper, but the kept must be worthy of the keeping. Copy, boy.
Nightbeat, a new dramatic series, stars Frank Lovejoy as Randy Stone. Tonight's story was written by Russell Hughes. Nightbeat is edited by Larry Marcus and directed by Warren Lewis. Music by Frank Worth. Others in tonight's cast were Ted DeCorsia, Georgia Ellis, Shepard Menken, Louis Haight, Herb Ellis, and Alan Slate. Frank Lovejoy will next be seen in Milton Sperling's production Rock Bottom, released by Warner Brothers. Throughout the week, NBC brings you the very best adventure mystery dramas on the air. You'll hear action-packed, fast-moving plots to hold your interest right up to the smashing climax on NBC's thrilling mystery shows. During these stellar programs, you'll hear mystery and intrigue, adventure and high-tension drama. Match your powers of observation against the best in detective fiction in solving crimes and unraveling intrigue.
There's fast-moving action to lift you from beside your radio into the romantic land of mystery and adventure. These exciting dramas are as interesting as tomorrow's race results today. And you'll hear them every night over most of these NBC stations. Remember, if it's mystery and adventure dramas you're tuned for the best on NBC. Listen next week at this same time and every week as Randy Stone searches through the city for the strange stories waiting for him in the darkness. The stories that come out of the shadows to find their way into Nightbeat. Tomorrow, Fred Allen joins Bob Hope. Now, Jack Benny's on NBC.
From 74 years ago, March 13th, 1950, Nightbeat. We'll head to the Westerns in a moment with Have Gun Will Travel, starring John Dehner. But first, we'll take a look at the news items because our two Westerns today are both from Sunday, March 13th, 1960. And we'll take a look at the newspapers of that Sunday in just a moment.
And now, a brief reminder from Uncle Sam that to the millions of American men and women overseas, nothing is more important than mail from home. Write often. Make your letters cheerful. And be sure to use V-mail. V-mail is private, speedy, safer, and it helps to lighten the burden of delivery.
Now on this Wednesday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we're going to have two Westerns and two of my favorites, Have Gun Will Travel and Gunsmoke, as they were broadcast on Sunday, March 13th, 1960, 64 years ago. And in the newspapers of that Sunday, 64 years ago, these were some of the headlines. A mountain farmer walked out of the snowy hills of North Carolina Saturday and reported the entire community of White Top, Virginia, blocked in by massive snowdrifts and was out without food. Exhausted, blue with cold, and soaked to the skin, the mountaineer Fred Blevins reached a National Guard rescue unit after walking 7.5 miles through 6 and 7 foot deep snows from the White Top community, 35 miles north of West Jefferson, North Carolina. The National Guard unit bogged down on a snow-covered road trying to reach White Top, a community of about 30 families located near Virginia's second highest mountain. New snows hampered food and fuel deliveries to stranded families in Dixie Mountain areas. A record cold wave gripped the Northeast, and a heavy snowstorm built up in the Plains states. In other news, a fierce jolt shattered the sleepy calm aboard an airliner crammed with American servicemen and their families flying over the Atlantic Saturday. For 100 feet or so, the big DC-6 flopped through the sky before 3 of its engines bit into the air once more and resumed their haul. The remaining engine roared uselessly with a cracked cylinder. The pilot flicked it out of action. Then the plane, operated by American Overseas National Airways, limped on for 700 miles and landed safely at Shannon, Ireland. Hopes for a final breakthrough to 18 trapped coal miners rose again Saturday night when the rescue leader said a makeshift ventilation system was working well. State Mines Chief Crawford L. Wilson said it was a slow process, but vans were pushing deadly fumes through pipes laid in the deep tunnel. Wilson also disclosed an advance team had gotten as far as 400 feet from one area where it's possible the men had been trapped since Tuesday morning, but their emergency supply of oxygen drained, and they had to retreat. Prime Minister Fidel Castro denied Saturday night that he had accused the U.S. of complicity in the explosion of a French munitions ship in Havana Harbor March 4th. Castro said, "I have no proof, but I have the right to wonder if the U.S. was involved." A new pilot gets a crack this week at flying the X-15 rocket ship. He's expected to drive the Black Space Bird to record speeds and heights that the first pilot, Scott Crossfield, was burning to attempt. Despite numerous attempts, Crossfield got turned down. leading to a rift among leading personalities in the X-15 program. Delegates of the North Atlantic Treaty Powers and the Soviet bloc assembled in Geneva Saturday for a 10-nation disarmament conference opening Tuesday. Senator Robert Kerr of Oklahoma said Saturday that atomic tracers are being used in an effort to locate and measure new reliable sources of underground water. The chairman of the Select Senate Committee on Water Resources made the announcement in releasing a report prepared for his group by the Atomic Energy Commission. And from East St. Louis, Illinois, George Norman arrested in connection with a $55 robbery. En route to the police station, officers noted Norman was trying to talk about it, but just couldn't. Officers took a long look at Norman's swollen cheeks, forced his mouth open, and found 12 $1 bills. The money seized as evidence. And that's a look at some of the headlines from Sunday, March 13th, 1960. In just a moment, Have Gun Will Travel here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
America in step for victory. America marshaling its energies for war. American soldiers at the front. A great civilian army lending them support behind the lines. Yes, the American people are determined that nothing shall stand in the way of total victory. Patriotically, they are rationing their goods and resources to make huge bomber fleets, great tank corps, mighty battle squadrons available to our young men in the Army and Navy. Americans know that the sacrifices they're making on the home front are small compared to the sacrifices of the men on the battlefront.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We just finished hearing the news from March 13th, 1960. Now let's hear a Western, Have Gun Will Travel, starring John Dehner, a radio spin-off of the popular television program. This episode from 64 years ago, March 13th, 1960, Montana Vendetta.
There's an old Norman law which says the private avenger has been succeeded by the judge. You'd do well to remember that before you decide to take the law into your own hands.
Have Gun Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Paladin.
Good morning, hey boy.
You go out early.
Yes, indeed. Nothing like a brisk walk before breakfast.
Yes, very nice day.
Oh, yes. Warm sunshine. It's delightful. The years at the spring and days at the morn.
Yeah, excuse me, Mr.
Mornings
Paladin.
at 7.
You forgot to pick up mail last night. But this letter come for you.
Oh, thank you, hey boy. From Sid Muller, Beaver Fork, Montana. Let's see. Dear Mr. Paladin, your reputation for taking hold of a situation has reached this town, and I would very like... Hey, boy.
Yes, sir?
This Sid Muller says he needs my services, wants me to get up there to Beaver Fork as soon as possible. So will you go down to the hotel basement where my trunk is stored and dig out that winter clothing we just packed away?
Oh, yes, sir. Too bad you had to leave when we have such a nice day in San Francisco.
Yes, hey, boy. Oh, well. Mr. Muller enclosed a very handsome check.
Constipation can be a problem for anyone, even doctors. And when constipation occurs, it's interesting to see just what doctors consider important about a laxative they might use or recommend. Well, a majority of the doctors we heard from had this to say.
A laxative should be effective, gentle, close to natural acting. A medicine that can be used with complete confidence.
Now, X-Lax has been popular with many doctors and millions of people over the years because chocolated X-Lax is effective. Overnight, it helps you toward your normal regularity. X-Lax is so gentle, so close to natural acting, there's no upset. That's why many doctors and millions of people use X-Lax with complete confidence. X-Lax, the laxative that helps you toward your normal regularity, gently, overnight.
For most of the country, the year was at the spring, but northern Montana was having a late winter. I reached the settlement just 20 miles from Beaver Fork when a blizzard hit. The storm raged for 10 days, and when the sky finally cleared, the snow was piled in roof-high drifts, and the roads were 8 feet under. I had found Mrs. Abbott's boarding house, home cooking, clean beds, reasonably comfortable, and my fellow lodgers were quite pleasant.
Good morning, Paladin.
Morning.
Hey, where do you think you're going all rigged up like that?
I'm leaving, old-timer. I've already wasted too much time.
Oh, now looky here. You ain't aiming to take out over that mountain, are you?
I have to. I should have been in Beaver Fork over 2 weeks ago.
Well, it must be important if it can't wait till the trail clears up.
A man sent for me, Sid Muller. Said you know him?
Sure, I know Sid. Know the rest of the bunch, too. There's 4 Mullers up this way. They ain't been in these parts long, about a year, maybe.
Oh? Well, he said he needed me.
Have you bothered to take a good look at the snow hanging on them peaks?
Well, there's lots of it.
Yeah, just like it was in '59. Oh, big jiggers, I'll never forget that.
What happened?
Avalanche.
Oh.
Biggest avalanche ever heard of in these parts.
Well, I'll just have to take my chances. Bye, old-timer. I followed the floor of a wide, white valley for several miles, then turned toward the mountain. A hunter passed me, his rifle slung easy across his arm. He smiled, waved, and went on, and I started the climb. Halfway up the slope, I stopped to rest on a narrow ledge. Below me, on the flat land, I could see the hunter, and apparently he had spotted his quarry, for he raised the rifle to his shoulder and fired. I looked up ahead to see if he had made his kill. The body of a man lay sprawled in the snow. And then it came. Like a whisper at first, and a slow, almost gentle movement, and then a low rumble that built to a deafening roar, and a great white cloud that moved toward me and met me.
Here, let's see if you can swallow a little more of this rot gut.
Rot gut is right.
Discriminating man. I like that. Sorry, but it's the best I can do at the moment. You better lie back.
Yeah, I think I will.
Well, looks like you're going to make it after all. I was doubtful for a while there.
Mountain fell on me. Takes a little time.
It's all right. Take all the time you want.
Hey, where am I? What is this place here?
An abandoned sheep herder's cabin. I found it holed up here during the storm. My name's Daniel Carr.
Did you dig me out of that snow?
A handful at a time. You were under there 3 hours.
3 hours?
You fell by a boulder, created an air pocket. That's how you managed to survive.
Usually one slide will start another. You were risking your life to rescue me.
Perhaps.
Well, how did you get me here?
I carried you. You're quite a load.
Why did you do it?
Well, after all, I realized it was the reverberation from my shot that caused the slide. I felt responsible.
No, but why did you take the trouble to save me? I saw you deliberately shoot a man.
I know. But you see, when I mean for my gun to kill a man, I'll point it at him, take aim, and pull the trigger.
Didn't it occur to you that I'm the only witness to the murder you committed?
Well, that's true, of course. But that's beside the point.
Well, much obliged.
Now, don't mention it. Now, I'll see if I can rustle you a bite to eat.
Talk about best-selling records. Here's a familiar tune about America's best-selling filter cigarette, Winston. Winston gives you real flavor, full, rich tobacco flavor. And you know, that's because only Winston has filter blend up front. Choice, flavorful tobaccos, specially selected and specially processed for filter smoking. No wonder Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should. Smoke Winston.
I recovered from the shock and exposure in a couple of days, but it developed I had a badly wrenched knee and couldn't walk. I was helpless and became further indebted to Daniel Carr for excellent care and, I must admit, as pleasant a companion as I had enjoyed in some time.
Now, wait, the queen takes the rook.
Yes, but the other white rook takes the queen. See?
But the interposition of the knight then postpones the mate only one more move.
No. Well, someday when we have a chessboard and pieces, I'll show you.
All right. I'll be looking forward to that. Oh, doggone.
What's the matter?
Looks like I'm out of tobacco.
Oh, well, hand me my rucksack.
Here.
Ought to be an extra can of tobacco in here.
How's the leg feel today?
Oh, it's much better.
Good.
Guess I'll have to face up to the fact I have a job to do.
Yes, I will too.
Where's that tobacco? Oh, yeah. Here it is.
Good.
Keep it.
Oh, thanks. Oh, here, this letter fell out of the sack.
From the man I have business with in Beaver Fork, Sid Muller.
That's the man I have business with.
Oh?
He's next on my list.
List?
To kill.
Why?
I haven't asked you any questions, Paladin.
Yeah, that's right, but does Sid Muller know he's on your list?
I think he does.
Well, Daniel, I think it's only fair to tell you. My gun is for hire. Now, Muller sent for me, probably to protect him from you.
And perhaps we'll meet again. I sort of hated to say goodbye anyway. It's been very pleasant.
Are you leaving?
I made my plans this morning, as soon as I saw you could get around. So I'd better get started, especially if you're going to be working for Muller. I'd hate to have to point my gun at you, Paladin. And I would, if you got in the way of the job I have to do. Well, so long. Thanks again for the tobacco.
Thank you for saving my life.
It was a pleasure.
For 3 days in a row, I tried to work my way down the trail from the cabin to the valley. And each time my knee gave way and I had to give up and crawl back over the hard-packed snow. But on the 4th day, I made it. It was bitterly cold and an icy wind was blowing. But I saw that the roads had been cleared, and I decided that my best bet was to return to the settlement and get a horse. I had gone only a short distance when I saw a wagon coming toward me.
Oh, there, Well, Paladin.
Hey, old-timer.
Lordy, man, I never figured to see you again till the spring thaw.
Yeah?
I was thinking you was stretched out stiff under that hunk of snow that come down off the mountain.
As a matter of fact, I was, briefly. Yeah.
Oh.
Mind if I climb up there with you?
No, come on.
All right.
Aaron, get one of them there blankets wrapped around you.
Yeah.
Aye, this here's a real snapper.
It sure is. Say, where are you headed, old-timer?
Beaver Fork. Come on, get up. Yep. I'm the bearer of pretty darn disconcerting tidings.
Yeah?
Yep. After the slide, we was all out there pulling around the snow looking for you. And out in the valley there, we come across Abe Muller. rifle shot.
Abe Muller?
Yeah, that's Sid's brother. Well, 3-4 days ago, Franklin, that's another brother, started over from Beaver Fork to pick up the remains. He had to wait till the road was clear, you see. Well, he never showed up. 'Cause why? He was found this morning.
Rifle shot?
Yep. Looks like somebody's setting out to exterminate the Muller boys. Yep. Looks like a real blood feud.
A blood feud? Hey, wait a minute. Old-timer, where were the Mullers located before they came to Montana?
Well, they've always been kind of tight-mouthed about themselves, but I always figured it was Texas.
Sure. Dalby County. Judge Orrin Carr. Daniel Carr.
I don't seem to follow you, Paladin.
Judge Carr was an Easterner, appointed by the president to preside over the court in Dalby County, and the first case that came up before him was a murder charge against a man named Muller.
Yeah?
He was found guilty, and Carr sentenced him to be hanged. The day the sentence was carried out, 5 men broke into the judge's house and strung him up by the neck from the rafters.
What'd they do to the varmints?
Nothing, but everyone knew that the 5 lynchers were Muller's sons.
You mean you think these here Mullers are the same ones?
And as I recall, several months later, the oldest Muller boy was ambushed. Yeah, that must have been when the others left Dalby and came up here. Huh. Daniel Carr. Judge Carr's son, of course.
The judge's son? What are you saying, Paladin?
I'll explain later, old-timer. Let's get a move on.
All right. Get up there. Come on. Come on, get it.
Dandruff bothers most men, most women too. So listen. Today you can get rid of embarrassing dandruff in just 3 minutes. Yes, with Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo, unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes. It's the quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. That's not all. Using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Simply apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way, Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. And never forget, gentle Fitch can also leave your hair up to 35% brighter. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
We didn't move quite fast enough. When we reached Beaver Fork, we found a crowd gathered around a blanket-wrapped body hanging over the back of a prospector's mule. It was Vernon Muller. He'd been ambushed.
This here's getting pretty scary, Paladin.
I agree. Is Sid in this crowd here?
Yeah, that's him over there in the red Mackinaw.
Sid Muller?
Yeah, who are you?
My name is Paladin.
Paladin? Fine time for you to be showing up.
Yeah, I know.
You're too late to be of help to me.
That's why I want to return this check to you. Here. Now, Sid, your brother Franklin was found this morning.
Frank?
He's been shot. He's dead.
Frank, too. You hear that, men? Frank got it, too. I tell you, there ain't nobody safe while that crazy killer's running loose.
Sid, the only life in danger now is yours. You better get to the sheriff and ask for protection till the man can be found and brought to justice.
Justice? Look, Paladin, we'll see that he's brought to justice, just don't you worry. Fellas, the prospector that brought in Vernon here says there were some tracks out there in the snow. We gotta get us some hounds and go after that crazy killer. And when we get him, we string him up. Come on, fellas!
Them fellas is real worked up, Paladin.
Yeah, I think maybe I know where Daniel's headed. I've got to get to him before that mob does.
You're so all-fired concerned about this feller, you'd think he was beholden to him.
Old-timer, I'm beholden to him for my life. Daniel? Daniel, let me in.
You're working for Muller now, Paladin. This time my gun is pointed at you.
I'm not working for Muller anymore. I want to talk to you, Daniel.
I hope you don't mind. I'm going to keep my rifle on you.
Go right ahead.
Come in. Close the door.
Daniel, they're coming for you. A crazy mob.
Sid Muller with him?
Yeah.
Good. I've been waiting to get to him.
You can't stay here.
I'm not going to move until I kill Sid Muller.
Daniel, you're an intelligent man. What do you mean by this vendetta?
Paladin, my father sat as a duly appointed judge. In the case of the state of Texas versus Lee Muller, he gave an honest and impartial judgment based on the laws of our land.
So the Mullers took the law into their own hands and killed your father. Now you've taken the law into your hands to kill the Mullers. Where does it end?
Doesn't matter.
There's still time, Daniel. Give yourself up to the law. Tell your side of the story.
No, Paladin, I have a job to do.
Look, they're on their way. They're coming for you.
I'm staying here. And don't interfere.
Daniel, listen to me.
Stay back.
No.
I won't pull this trigger, but I...
Daniel,
Sorry, Paladin.
Paladin.
Oh.
Hey, Paladin.
Oh, hello, old-timer.
Well, it's about time. You sure must have got yourself a good whack on the head.
Hey, hit me with a rifle butt.
I thought you was never coming to.
Yeah, Hey, wait. The mob.
Oh, they done their dirty work and gone already.
What happened?
Well, that bunch, I was trailing along with them. We got to this here place, and this fella, well, nobody was expecting it. He just steps out big as life. Somehow he got a bead on Sid, and just pointed his gun, took aim, and pulled the trigger. Sid just dropped. And then that crazy mob, they had the rope all ready, and they well, Paladin, it sure wasn't pretty.
Daniel was determined to end it, and I couldn't stop him. Terrible waste, old-timer.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos corn chips.
And since Fritos corn chips are fresh as spring itself, it seemed appropriate to give you a springtime gift. So Fritos have attached a free package of flower seeds on their large bags as their salute to spring. There's nothing for you to mail in. Just buy a large bag of Fritos, and there, right on the bag, is your free package of flower seeds. They're the finest seeds you could get anywhere, genuine burpee seeds. And there are 3 varieties, beautiful zinnias, snapdragons, or petunias. Get yours, while they last, free flower seeds on the large bags of Fritos corn chips.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos corn chips. It's not polite to smack your lips, but you can't help it with Fritos corn chips. Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos corn chips.
Come in. Oh, hello, Miss Wong.
Oh, ready to clean room, Mr. Paladin. Oh, my. What's all this?
Oh, some clothing, Miss Wong, winter clothing.
Oh.
Hey, boy's going to put it in my trunk in the basement. And then he's going to push the trunk away over in the corner. We won't be needing it again for a long time.
Oh, is that?
Mais où sont les neiges d'antan?
What's that, Monsieur Paladin?
Oh, that François Villon is translated by Rossetti. But where are the snows of yesteryear? And I was just thinking.
Oh, is that?
I don't care where are the snows of yesteryear. I don't care where are the snows of this year. I don't care where are the snows of next year. Only wherever they are, that's where I don't want to be.
Oh, is that?
Hello, I'm Burgess Meredith. Did you know there are over 3 million persons in America who are hard of hearing and not doing anything about it? Maybe you or some member of your family is hard of hearing. Well, fortunately, I've never had this problem. Some of my friends and family have. Now, a few years ago, your excuse might have been that you didn't want to wear a bulky hearing aid. But today, it's a different story. I've just seen the new Super 60 hearing glasses developed by Mako Electronics. If I hadn't known they were hearing glasses, I would have guessed them to be regular eyeglasses. It's a wonderful way for any hard-of-hearing person to conceal a hearing loss. There are styles for both men and women. For an interesting free booklet on hearing glasses for yourself or a friend, stop in at Mako or write to Hearing Glasses, CBS, 485 Madison Avenue, New York. Don't wait until your hearing gets worse. It may be too late. Send for your booklet today. Write CBS, 485 Madison Avenue, New York.
Have Gun Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed in Hollywood by Frank Paris and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy and Virginia Gregg as Miss Wong. Tonight's story was specially written for Have Gun Will Travel by Ann Dowd. Featured in the cast were Ralph Moody, Paul Dubov, and Barney Phillips. This is Hugh Douglas inviting you to join us again next week when CBS Radio presents Have Gun Will Travel.
March 13th, 1960, 64 years ago, Have Gun Will Travel, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Although this was a spin-off of the television program to radio, it was one of the things that this show did is it actually had different scripts. It had different storylines. And one thing that the radio show had that the television show didn't was a proper ending. The final show of Have Gun Will Travel was written basically to write Paladin out. It never happened on television. So, once again, radio doing something better than television. Who'd have thunk it? Coming up next from that same date, Sunday, March 13th, 1960, an episode of Gunsmoke.
Remember, the government ruling is you must register your tires or you cannot get any gas. So act tomorrow to register yours.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of Gunsmoke. 64 years ago, March 13th, 1960, this episode, which also stars William Conrad, was named Unloaded Gun.
Around Dodge City and in the territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of gun smoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad, the story of the violence that moved west with young America, and the story of a man who moved with it.
I'm that man, Matt Dillon, United States Marshal. The first man they look for and the last they want to meet. It's a chancy job, and it makes a man watchful and a little lonely.
Easy, Joe. Easy. Can't help it. I gotta get you out of sight. The law? I think we lost him. Doubling back.
There. Now, let's see. Now, Joe. It's no use fooling with it, Joe. You just hold still. Oh, that dirty marshal. I ain't gonna make it. Sure you will, Red. I gotta clean it out some, though. No. Just let it be. Now, a little water ain't gonna hurt none. Please, Joe. You hang on now. This ain't no time to quit. We got a chance. We got a way. Not me. That marshal fixed me. Don't you worry none about that marshal. He ain't finding us now. You get him for me, Joe. You're gonna be able to get him for yourself, Red. All you need's a little rest. Joe, you get him. Red, don't die on me now. We got off. He give up chasing us. Red? All right, Red. All right, I'll get him. If I don't do nothing else, I'll get that marshal. I tell you, Kitty, I don't know whether to put salt on that feather or to shoot it.
What? What are you talking about, Doc?
That feather in your hat. Oh. Every time you turn your head, it nearly puts my eye out.
Oh, for heaven's sake. If you think this one's bad, look at the one in Jonas's store window here.
Huh? Why, listen. Oh, well, if you were wearing that one, a man would have to get right off the boardwalk.
Well, with some of them, that wouldn't be such a bad idea.
You may be right at that.
Present company accepted, of course.
Oh, no, never mind the soft soap, kid.
Oh. You know, any girl would be proud to be seen walking down Front Street with you.
Oh, sure.
Hey,
yeah.
Look.
Huh?
Just riding into town.
What's Matt?
Yeah.
About time you get back. Matt! Oh, Matt.
Howdy, stranger.
What's been keeping you? Say, Matt!
Matt!
Oh, honey, that's a funny thing, isn't it?
He didn't even answer.
Oh, the grumpy old goat. He couldn't help hearing us.
That's not like him, Doc.
No, Kitty, it isn't. I think I'll walk over and have a talk with him.
Yeah, Doc, I wish you would. Oh, Doc?
Yes, Kitty?
You let me know if he needs anything, huh?
Oh, sure, Kitty, yes, sir. I'll do that. Look here, Mr. Dillon. You should at least ought to let me take your boots off anyway.
Don't bother me, Chester.
I ain't wanting to bother you, man, but you won't rest near as good laying there with your boots on.
Will you just never mind?
It's just that I'm trying to make you more comfortable.
Get out of here and let me go to sleep, will you?
All right. Well, the man just too ornery to know how to rest proper, then just ain't nothing I can do about it. Oh, hello, Doc. Matt back there? He's back there, all right, but he ain't worth seeing. What do you mean? Well, he's just plain out of sorts, for one thing. Oh, that's nothing new. What else ails him? Well, he ain't acting like he's got good sense. Trying to go to sleep after a 4-day ride without even taking his boots off. I'll take a look at him. I sure do wish you would.
don't you? Oh, sure, Doc. Listen, will you come back later, please?
I'll just be a minute.
Just want to get some sleep.
Open your mouth.
What? What do you want?
Let me see your tongue. All right, now. Give me your hand.
Oh, Doc.
Give it to me. I want to take your pulse. Chester.
What?
Get me some water.
All right, Doc.
Oh, woman. Can't let a man get his sleep.
I'll let you get it in a minute, man. In fact, you're going to sleep much better.
There you are, Doc. Here's the water.
Thank you, Chester. Here you are, Matt. Take this.
Oh, Doc, I don't want to take it.
It's just a powder to chase away what's left of the fever you've had. So go ahead, Matt, and take it. Here.
Tomfool notion.
There. That didn't kill you, did it?
Now, will you get out of here?
Sure, man, sure. And you'll thank me when you wake up.
Will you get out of here?
I don't know why they'd choose a U.S. Marshal who acts so much like a mule.
Hey, Doc. Is Mr. Dillon really sick?
I think the worst of it is over, but he probably had a pretty bad touch of fever on the trail. No wonder he's worn out.
Well, ain't there something I can do for him?
Oh, I don't think so, Chester. He needs sleep more than anything.
Yeah, but, Doc, you know I ain't so bad at taking care of sick folks.
I know, but I don't think Matt's going to need any of your expert nursing.
Well, it just don't seem right. There ain't nothing I can do.
Matt's right, Chester. You are like an old woman.
Well, I'm just trying to help.
Well, if you want to help so much, why don't you pick up his things for him? Look, he surely did spread them around, didn't he? Oh, my God, it looks like a pigsty in here.
He just throwed his stuff down as he walked through. Look, saddlebags, bedroll.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's good, Chester. You can fix them all up for him.
Doc, just look at there.
Here, why?
Wait, just take a look at his gun. Well, he just dropped the belt in the corner there.
Yeah, see. That looks like it's been in the mud.
It sure does. Now, that ain't like Mr. Dillon.
No, it isn't, but I don't think he's been feeling much like himself for the last 2 or 3 days.
Sir, I just don't understand how his gun could get this way, Doc. Look.
I don't know, Chester. Maybe he fell off his horse. With a fever, he would have been giddy. There's no question about that.
Well, I'm just obliged to clean it for him, all right.
That's good, Chester. Yes. Now, there's something you can do, at least. Chester, you want to watch out for one thing.
What's that?
Well, you want to be sure and take the cartridges out of that gun before you clean it.
Well, now,
I don't think Matt would take too kindly to the idea of your using his gun to blow your brains out with.
Of course I'll take them out. I haven't started to clean it yet, you know. There. You can see for yourself.
Oh, well, now, I must say that I'm relieved about that.
Well, any fool would know that.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Yes, well, Chester, I'll see you later. Don't buy any wooden bullets.
Of course I won't buy no wooden bullets. I swear a body don't get credit for no sense at all.
Mister?
Come in and shut the door, boy. There ain't room for no more flies in here.
This here's the marshal's office?
Yes, this here's the marshal's office. You can't see Mr. Dillon, though.
I came to see Chester. You him?
I'm Chester. What do you want?
I'm to fetch you.
Fetch me where?
Doc says you're to come.
Doc? Oh, that can't be so. It ain't been 5 minutes since he was right here.
You're to come right away.
Are you sure about that? Seems like Doc would have told me himself.
Down to the corner. Josh Prentice broke his leg.
Well, I can't do nothing about that.
Doc wants you to help hold him down whilst he sets it.
Oh, well, all right. Come right along. Wait. I better look and see if Mr. Dillon needs anything first. Dead to the world. All right, boy. Wait. No. Wait a minute. Better put Mr. Dillon's gun back for him. Swear and declare it keeps a body busy just remembering all his chores and duties around here, much less... Well, come on, boy. We can't keep Doc waiting.
Barkeep.
You're right with you. Oh, Bill Bear. I ain't seen you in a month of Sundays.
Howdy, Sam. It don't look like I've missed much.
We don't change a lot, and that's the truth. Whiskey?
Same old poison.
Aye.
Thanks.
You sitting in on the poker game? Old Dolph would be glad to see you again.
I reckon he would. Nope, not tonight, Sam. I figured Dodge is a good place to be shut of tonight.
What do you mean?
I don't want to be around when Joe Lime cuts loose.
Joe Lime? Why, he must be 100 miles from here.
Not now, he ain't. I seen him.
Matt Dillon chased him and his brother out of here after that holdup last week. You must have seen somebody else.
Oh, Matt Dillon chased him all right, and he killed Red. That's why Joe's back to get Matt.
You sure?
I'm sure. He's down at the livery stable tending to a lame horse. He's telling it right out plain he's out to get the marshal. So I think I'll ride right on through.
Well,
if I'm going to catch a bullet, I don't want it to be one that was meant for somebody else. So long, Sam.
So long, Bill.
Sam.
Yeah, Miss Kitty.
Was that man talking about Joe Lime? Did he say he's back in Dodge?
He sure did, Miss Kitty. He said he's down at the livery stable and he's out to get the marshal.
Oh, somebody ought to tell Matt.
You want me to send somebody?
No, Sam, thanks. I'll go myself. Chester, we gotta wake Matt. Chester. Oh, dear. Matt, wake up. Come on, Matt. Wake up.
What?
Oh, water. I need some water. Sorry, Matt, I gotta do it. Matt!
What?
Now, Matt, you got to get up.
What is it, Kitty?
It's Joe Lime, Matt. He's in Dodge to get you.
Huh? Joe Lime?
Yeah.
He can't be. I lost him halfway to the border. All right, Kitty, will you go?
Matt, it's true. You killed his brother. He's after you.
Are you sure?
Bill Burr saw him just a few minutes ago.
Oh, where?
He was at the livery stable.
All right, Kitty. I guess I better go over there.
Well, wait till I fix you some coffee. You need your eyes wider open than that.
Oh, never mind. Just hand me that gun belt.
Here.
Oh, thanks, Kitty. I'll see you later.
Matt, are you sure you're all right?
I better be all right.
Now, all right, Josh. That's all there is to it.
Thanks, Doc.
I'll get somebody to drive you out home.
Well, now, Doc, I'm going to be able to use the leg all right again?
Of course you are, Josh. Sure. Probably be better than ever after I've worked on it.
Oh, I guess you're right, Doc.
All right, now, a couple of you boys, give Josh a hand over to his wagon.
Thanks again, Doc. Good boy, Doc.
Now, is that all you need me for, Doc?
Yes, Chester, I guess so. You were a great help.
Well, I should be getting on back to the office.
Sure. Oh, I forgot. Yes, you were in the middle of a mighty important job, weren't you, now? Cleaning that gun.
Oh, I finished that, Doc. You sure don't give me credit for having much sense, do you? Telling me to be sure and take the cartridges out.
Well, you better get the gun back to where Matt left it. He might catch cold if he got up and started wandering around without wearing it.
You don't think I'd go off and leave Mr. Dillon's gun where he couldn't find it, do you?
Well, I don't know, Chester.
I put it right where he can see it.
It's all right, Chester, all right.
Yeah. Oh.
Huh?
Oh, my.
What's the matter?
I got to get back there right away.
Well, what is it? You figured the coffee's going to boil over?
No, Doc. I clean forgot to put them cartridges back in Mr. Dillon's gun.
Out of tune? If you're irregular due to lack of bulk, help yourself get back in tune with Kellogg's All Brand. You'll feel right on pitch when Kellogg's All Brand gentles away irregularity the natural way. So fight constipation as millions do with good-tasting Kellogg's All Brand. ALL-BRAN. Kellogg's All Brand. And for all you All Brand users who are also flour fanciers, here's good news. Kellogg's All Brand again is offering beautiful rose bushes, including formerly patented gold medal winners, in a choice of 5 colors. For each rose bush, just mail 50 cents with a box top from a package of Kellogg's All Brand to Queen of the Garden Roses, Box 974, Tyler, Texas. See the back of specially marked packages of Kellogg's All Brand today for full details.
Marshal?
Hello, Moss.
I thought I ought to tell you, Marshal.
Joe Lime's still in the stable?
He's there, all right, and talking awful mean. Almost crazy about you killing his brother.
Yeah.
I just don't believe I'd go in there, Marshal.
Yeah, I gotta get him.
Well, I just thought I ought to tell you.
Thanks, Moss. You stay out of the way.
Yes, sir. I believe I will.
Lime. Joe Lime. Come out of there.
I've been waiting for you, Marshal.
Ain't you going to shoot back, Marshal?
I gotta see him first. It'll be better for you if you come out, Lime.
You come and get me, lawman. You just come and get me.
All right, I'm coming.
Look out for the loft, Marshal. He might have got up into the loft.
Yeah.
You sure look big and brave diving into that stall, lawman.
Come on down, Lime.
Big and brave, like when you shot Red. All right, lawman. I'm ready for your move. Come on. Ain't you even going to try to get me? You're not worth a single shot. You better make your move, Marshal. I ain't going to wait up here forever. Come on, move, or I'll move you out. Move, lawman.
Give up, Lime. Come on down.
You come get me.
I don't have to. I've been counting the shots. Your gun's empty. Now, that's your last chance. Come on down.
I'm coming down, all right. Let go of your gun, lawman. I'll stomp you till you do. That's better. I got your gun. I got you, too. Now just stand still. Don't try nothing foolish. I ain't gonna kill you easy, Marshal. I'm gonna kill you slow. A little bit at a time. You got anything to say now, lawman?
Not to you.
Maybe you will after this. Why, don't shoot. It's gotta shoot.
It's not gonna shoot, Lime. You're through.
Not hardly. I can still break you in bits.
Stand right where you are. You make one move and I'll blow you in two.
Chester.
Mr. Dillon, you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. You keep him covered with that shotgun.
Yes, sir. I got him covered real good. I come down here with the gun as soon as I remembered.
Remembered what?
Then I forgot to put them bullets back in your gun when I cleaned it.
You forgot to put the bullets back?
Yes, sir. Your gun was empty. Lord of mercy, you could have been killed, all thanks to me.
Yeah, I could have been killed. I would have been, too, Chester. If you had put the bullets back.
You mean an empty gun saved your life? I just don't rightly understand, Mr. Dillon.
Well, I'll tell you about it sometime when I'm loading my own gun. All right, Lime. Jail's that way. Now get going.
Directed in Hollywood by Norman McDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. The story was specially written for Gunsmoke by Marion Clark, with editorial supervision by John Meston. Featured in the cast were Vic Perrin, Barney Phillips, Sam Edwards, Harry Bartell, and Richard Beale. Harley Bear is Chester, Howard McNear is Doc, and Georgia Ellis is Kitty. This is George Walsh inviting you to join us again next week when CBS Radio presents another story on Gunsmoke.
March 13th, 1960, 64 years ago today, Gunsmoke on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit our webpage at classicradio.stream, classicradio.stream. Stream our shows, learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can find our social media links there, and we encourage you to follow us on social media and share our episodes there, and share them anywhere with your friends. It would be greatly appreciated. Tomorrow, Philo Bance, The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, Richard Diamond, The Lives of Harry Lime, and The Police Reporter. But up next on Classic Radio Theater, we head to Pine Ridge, Arkansas for an episode of Blum and Abner.
Now attention please, all passenger car owners. The Office of Defense Transportation has asked us to give you this message. This is National Tire Registration Week. To keep our American transportation system safe and working, the government is asking you and me to register all tires of passenger cars during the coming week. This means you register all tires of your passenger car, including the spare and any others you may have, without delay. For to get a new gasoline rationing book, or to keep the one you already have, you must register your tires first. You can get an official registration blank at your local rationing board, your garage, auto club, or at any filling station. Then when you've listed all your tires, file your registration form with your rationing board. Or, if you live in the West or Middle West, present it when applying for your gas rationing coupon. Remember, the government ruling is you must register your tires or you cannot get any gas. So act tomorrow to register yours.
Let's wrap up this episode of Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on a Wednesday with this Friday episode of Lum and Abner, as it was broadcast 82 years ago, March 13th, 1942.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. I wonder how many of you Lum and Abner listeners have planned an evening of cards, a movie, or a party with friends. Well, if you're looking forward to a good time soon, we just hope for your sake that yours is an Alka-Seltzer home. For if it is, and you happen to have too good a time, stay up too late, or eat or drink too much, well, with Alka-Seltzer handy, you're prepared to help yourself to quick relief for the headache or the stomach distress that may result. Just drop an Alka-Seltzer tablet or two into a glass of water like this. Listen to it fizz. Then drink it. It offers fast relief for that headache. It neutralizes excess gastric acidity, and it helps to settle that upset stomach. Think of it. Threefold relief for common after-the-party ailments can be yours in just one glass of Alka-Seltzer. Try it, won't you? Get a package of Alka-Seltzer tablets from your druggist tonight, for you may want the quick, pleasant relief it offers in the morning. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum is still convinced that the lantern which Diogenes Smith left in Cedric's care has the magic powers of an Aladdin's lamp. However, Cedric loaned the Macmillan boys a lantern for their fishing trip, and by mistake he gave them the one belonging to Diogenes. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner alone in the Jot-'em-Down store and library. He's on the telephone. Listen.
Yes, Mom. 2 cans of tomatoes. A can of hominy. All right. A pound of sugar. Wait a minute. You got to take 2 pounds of sugar, Miss Barton. I can't help it. It don't matter whether you can afford it or not. You got to take 2 pounds. The government sent us a letter saying 2 pounds of sugar to a customer, and I doggies that's what it's going to be. Well, we'll give you the other pound on the credit, Tim, but you got to take it.
Oh, excuse me. I never knowed you'd on the phone.
Yes, Mom. Mousy will deliver it this afternoon. All right, Miss Barton. Wonderful world.
Wonderful. Sorry I'm getting down so late, Abner, but I had to sit up all night doing air raid warden's duty last night, so I slept in this morning.
Oh, well, don't make no difference, Lum. Weren't much business no way.
Have you heard anything from Cedric yet?
No, not a word.
Did you call up over to the place to see if he's back?
No, but Caleb, his pa, was in the store a while ago and said he ain't seen nothing of him since he left yesterday to find the Macmillan boys.
I hope he finds them and gets that lantern back before them Macmillan boys discovers they're carrying around a magic lamp. I'd hate for him to find that out.
Well, Lum, I don't think you can get money out of that lantern just by rubbing it. We rubbed that other one all day and nothing happened.
Well, of course not. We had the wrong lantern. The magic one's the one that Diogenes left for Cedric to carry around.
Huh?
And then Cedric had to go and loan it to the Macmillan boys by mistake.
Well, I still don't believe it's magic, though.
Oh, don't be silly, Abner. Cedric just the same as admitted that's where he's been getting all his money. He said he polished the lantern every morning and got himself a big roll of money.
Yeah, but maybe he got the money someplace else.
Well, he couldn't have. He ain't smart enough to earn that much money.
No.
And then take Diogenes. Did you ever notice how he never come right out and said how he got rich? Always got off on some other subject whenever you ask about it.
Yeah, well, I never could follow what he's talking about no way, them big words.
And then take this work he was doing, printing up pamphlets on right living and then giving them away. He couldn't make no money that way.
No.
And yet he's able to offer a $10,000 prize to the most honest man in our town.
Yeah, that's right.
No, Sir Abner, there just ain't no two ways about it. That lantern is magic, just like Aladdin's lamp. And we can't let it slip through our fingers, neither.
Through our fingers? Well, we don't own it. Diogenes does. And he ought to be getting back pretty soon, Lum. He's been gone a week.
Goodness, that's right, ain't it?
Why, of course, he left town in such a rush. He never said exactly where he's going. Said he's going to get some more paper and stuff for his printing press. That oughtn't to take very long.
Well, that just means we got to work fast and get all we can out of that lamp before he gets back. Better call over to the place and see if Cedric's got back yet.
Well, no use doing that, Lum. Cedric said he'd come right direct to the store.
He did, huh?
Sure.
Maybe I ought to go out and look for him.
I say, that reminds me, too. There was a feller in here this morning looking for Cedric.
There was? Who was it?
I don't know. Some stranger. I never seen him before. Awful friendly sort of feller, though. Adams, I believe he said his name was.
Well, what was he wanting with Cedric?
I don't know. He just appeared to be interested in him. Asked what he done for a living and what kind of a feller he was and if he had much money.
Money? Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
I was afeard of that. Dad blame it.
Feared of what?
Well, don't you see? Words got around about Cedric and his magic lamp. And that Adams feller's heard about it somehow, and he's down here to get it away from Cedric.
You reckon that's it, sure enough?
Well, sure. There's more proof right there that lantern is magic. Granny, now we got to work faster than ever. If that Adams feller comes back to the store, tell him that Cedric's moved to some other town, to Africa.
Africa?
Well, any place.
Well, Cedric never went to Africa, Lum. He just went out to hunt for the Macmillan boys.
I know that.
I know they never went to Africa. They just went down on a river to fish for a day or two.
Abner, I know where they went. Wait a minute. I bound you them Macmillan boys already knowed about the magic lamp.
Knowed about it?
Yes, sir. If that Adams feller's heard about it already, no reason why the Macmillan boys hadn't heard about it, too.
No.
And that's why they borrowed the lantern. They more'n likely knowed all the time Cedric was giving them Diogenes' lantern instead of his own. Tricked him out of it some way.
Well, I dogged if they knowed the secret of that lantern, I bound you they're catching an awful lot of fish.
Well, I don't even think they went fishing.
Well, I don't blame 'em with that thing. I wouldn't either. I'd just sit at home or lay there in a hammock, rub that lantern and get all the fish I wanted. Get 'em already fried, too.
I don't mean that, Abner. I mean they weren't after fish at all.
Huh?
They more'n likely just headed right out for some big city to spend money and buy up some big businesses and stuff. Grannies, Cedric won't never find them now.
Well, ain't they never coming back to Pine Ridge?
I doubt it. Not unless they come back in a great big black car. I know whose idea that was, too. It was that oldest boy, Ernest. I never did trust him.
You don't trust Ernest?
Of course not. That sneaky snake in the weeds. I wouldn't put nothing past that varmint.
Why, Lum, just last week you saying what a good boy you thought Ernest was.
I did, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, I was just being polite. Wish now I'd have said what I actually thought.
Well?
I've got a good mind to go right over there and tell his papa what a underhanded young'un he's brung up. I'll tell him how deceitful Ernest is, and greedy and selfish.
Selfish?
Why, of course he is. Do you think he'll give any of that money away? No, sir. Not Ernest.
He won't, huh?
Keep every last cent of that for himself. More'n likely won't even give his own brother none of it, or his wife.
Well, I never would have expected he was like that.
Oh, he's so greedy he'll rub that lantern so often he'll use it all up. Grannies, I'd just like to get my hands on it once before that happens. That's all I need is just one try at it. I'd ask it for $100 million.
Well, I don't think you'll get that one try, though, Lum.
No, I know I won't now. Grannies, if that Ernest had 1 ounce of decency in himself, he'd let somebody else get in on that, too. What he ought to do is just set that out in the middle of the street on a platform and let everybody in town use it.
Why, sure, that'd be a good idea.
Of course it's a good idea. We could all go by there and rub it a little and get a lot of money, but
yeah.
Just try telling that to Ernest.
Well,
Stingy outfit.
Might get his brother to steal it away from him.
Wonderful world.
Oh, Cedric, how many times have I told you not to sneak up that way?
Well, look what I got. The lantern.
Doggies, look, Lum, the lantern.
Grannies, don't worry. I can see it. Good for you, Cedric. Good for you.
Did you have to trail them clean to the city to get it away from them?
Mom?
Did you have to go to the city to get it from the Macmillan boys?
No, they went fishing, I told you. They brung it back just now.
Brung it back? Well, that's funny. Mean and ornery and selfish as that Ernest is.
Mom, Abner, hush up. Don't talk that way about Ernest. He's a good boy. Cedric, we
Good
want to have a
boy.
little talk with
Why,
you.
you just now said that Ernest was a sneaky snake in the
And
weeds.
I didn't mean it exactly that way. Besides,
Huh.
we ain't got time to discuss that now. We got some important business to do with Cedric here. With me? Yeah, now listen, Cedric. Ain't no use beating around the bush. The both of us know that lantern there is, well, sort of valuable. Yes, Mom, one like this one costs at least $4 or $5, I think. Yeah, at least. Now, here's what we're willing to do, Cedric. We'll give you a third interest in the Jot 'em Down store for a half interest in that lantern. The lantern? Oh, no, I couldn't do that, Mr. Lum. Not for a third of your store. You couldn't, huh? Well, just a minute then. Abner and me are going to have a meeting of the executives. Wait right there, Cedric. Come on back here, Abner.
Yeah, sure. What's the meeting for, Lum?
Not so loud.
Huh?
I feared he'd hold out for more than a third of the store.
Oh. Well, what are we going to do now?
Well, would you be willing to give a half interest in the store for half interest in the lantern?
Half interest? I don't know, Lum. He'll own more than either you or me then.
Yeah, but we can get enough money out of the lantern in 5 minutes to buy back the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
$100 million.
Sure.
Right off the bat.
Go ahead, give him half. Give him all of it. I don't care.
No, we just keep him as a partner.
Yeah. I want to stay close to Cedric.
It's all set. Cedric. Yes, Mom? Cedric, we're going to give you a whole half interest in this store for a half interest of that lantern. What do you think about that? Well, gosh, Mr. Lum, I always wanted to go in business, but you ought to get more than just half of my lantern.
Oh, we're satisfied, Cedric.
Well, how about it if I give you $1,000 besides?
Huh?
$1,000? Yes, Mom, I got plenty of money. Well, if that'll make you happy, Cedric, that's all right with us. Is it a deal? Yes, Mom, it's a deal. Boy. Well, put her there, Cedric, old partner. Go ahead, Abner. Shake hands with your new partner.
Why, sure. I'll shake with him. How do you do, Cedric, old feller? How's it feel to be a big businessman?
Oh, boy, it sure feels good. Well, I better go and get that $1,000 I owe you. Go and get it? You don't have to go no place. The lantern's right here. Go ahead. Let's see you rub it once, Cedric. Rub it?
Why, sure. Ain't that where you get your money from?
No, Mom. That lantern ain't got nothing to do with my money. I get that from someplace else. I can't tell where, though. It's a secret.
Say, folks, here's an announcement from the makers of Alka-Seltzer about a new one-a-day vitamin tablet. It's the one-a-day brand Vitamin B Complex tablet. That's the same brand name as the famous one-a-day vitamin A and D tablets many of you are taking every day, but this new tablet contains an entirely different group of vitamins. The vitamins of the B complex. Now, the daily need of an adequate amount of these vitamins is not just theoretical or unimportant, for the body cannot get along and maintain its normal activity without B complex vitamins. Their absence from your daily diet can cause such disturbances as loss of appetite, subnormal growth in children, nervous irritability, digestive disturbances, and certain skin troubles. These symptoms, of course, do not necessarily indicate vitamin B deficiency, as there are many other possible causes for any of them. But that they can be caused by a B deficiency shows how important it is to you and to the other members of your family to get an adequate supply of these vitamins every day. Now, here's a way you can be sure of getting your minimum daily requirements of vitamins A and D and the essential vitamins of the B complex, whose requirements are known. Ask your druggist for both one-a-day vitamin A and D tablets in the yellow box and one-a-day vitamin B complex tablets in the gray box. One-a-day brand vitamins make it both easy and economical for you because just one of each, once a day, is all you take. Look for that big one on each package.
is Cedric getting the money from? I guess we'll find out on the weekend. From March 13th, 1942, 82 years ago, Lum and Abner here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Yes, Friday the 13th came on a Wednesday this month, and on our Thursday show, Philo Vance, Philip Marlowe, Richard Diamond, The Lives of Harry Lime, and The Police Reporter. Thanks so much for being with us. Our webpage, classicradio.stream. Come visit us. Buy me a coffee if you like, and we'll see you on Thursday.